Yo, hold up. Y'all are not gonna believe what just went down in the hip-hop world because this right here. This ain't just rap beef. This is chess, not checkers. In a twist nobody saw coming, A$AP Rocky just came out swinging. And it's got Drake fans shook, and the whole industry's scratching their heads. Word on the street is Drake tried to pull a legal move on Kendrick. Some shady behind-the-scenes lawsuit drama that was supposed to shut K-Dot down quietly. But guess who wasn't having it? Rocky stepped in like a storm, y'all. Not with a diss track. Not with a tweet. But with receipts, voice memos, and a wild phone call that got leaked just hours ago. Fans are saying this could be the moment the rap game splits in two. And let's not forget Rocky's got his OWN ties to Drake and Kendrick. He was supposed to stay neutral. So, why did he decide to put his entire career on the line and expose Drake like this? Was it loyalty? Jealousy? Or is there something even deeper going on behind closed doors? Stay locked in, because what we're about to break down will have your jaw on the floor, so here's how it all started. And trust me, it wasn't even supposed to be about Rocky in the first place. It all began when rumors started floating around that Drake was quietly moving forward with legal action against Kendrick Lamar. Yeah, legal action. Not a diss track. Not subliminals. Actual court paperwork. According to some insiders close to OVO, Drake's team had been putting together a defamation lawsuit, claiming that Kendrick's verse on Meet the Grams crossed illegal lines, something about character assassination and emotional damages. Fans thought it was a joke at first. Like, come on, this is hip-hop. But then, something leaked out. A mysterious document started circulating online, partially redacted. But just enough detail to make people raise eyebrows. It mentioned Kendrick's name, references to public slander in lyrical form, and even mentioned a timeline that matched up with the release of the track. Within 24 hours, Kendrick's fans went nuclear on social media. Hashtags like Drake is scared and lawyer up Drizzy were trending everywhere. But just when it looked like this was about to become a one-on-one legal battle, that's single quotes as when A$AP Rocky slid into the picture. And not quietly, sources say. Rocky had been watching from the sidelines, keeping his distance from the whole Drake versus Kendrick war. He was seen partying with both camps over the past year. Photos of him at Drake's private Toronto birthday bash had just surfaced months ago. At the same time, he'd been spotted at Kendrick's PG Lang events, all smiles. Rocky was playing it smart, staying neutral, or so everyone thought. But here's where it gets messy. Apparently, Rocky got wind of the lawsuit before it even went public. And what shocked fans even more? He had receipts. Multiple sources say Rocky was on a group call with one of Drake's close legal consultants, someone who mistakenly thought Rocky was still Team OVO. And during that call, Rocky allegedly recorded the conversation. The consultant was reportedly detailing Drake's plan to strategically take Kendrick out of the public's good graces and how the lawsuit was meant to drag out just long enough to hurt Kendrick's album rollout. Yeah, you heard that right? But Rocky didn't sit on that. Info no. The very next day, he pulled a move that nobody expected. He posted a cryptic story on his close friends list, only viewable to a select group of industry insiders. It was just one sentence. Y'all ever seen the devil wear an owl? And behind it, a blurred out screenshot of what looked like legal documents. Fans started connecting the dots fast. Owl, that's OVO. And if that wasn't obvious enough, a few hours later, an audio file began making rounds online, allegedly leaked from that very same phone call. In the audio, a male voice sounding a lot like the OVO consultant he's heard saying, "This isn't about beef. This is about killing perception. We wait till tour season, drop the suit, and watch him sweat." You can hear Rocky's voice faintly in the background, sounding shocked, like he wasn't supposed to be hearing any of this. That's when things exploded. Kendrick's team caught wind of the audio and, according to insiders, immediately went into lockdown mode. Meanwhile, fans on both sides were spiraling. OVO supporters were scrambling to deny the audio's authenticity. But PG Lang fans were praising Rocky as a hero for exposing the plot. And just when the internet thought they had heard the worst of it, Rihanna's single quotes S name got dragged in. People started questioning Rocky's motivation. Why expose Drake? Why now? And why so publicly? Well, that's when someone pulled up a tweet from 2018 and old. Dusty post where Drake had once joked about having unfinished business in Barbados. At the time, it seemed innocent. Now, fans are reading it as a low-key jab at Rocky and Rihanna's relationship. Some say Drake's never really gotten over Ree, and maybe Rocky's been sitting on years of quiet resentment. But it gets deeper. Former PG Lang intern came forward anonymously, saying Rocky and Kendrick had actually gotten closer in the last year working on something big, something private. There's a project they were both attached to, the source claimed. I don't know if it's music, film, or both. But whatever it is, it had to be kept under wraps, and Drake might have caught wind of it. That lawsuit was more than personal. It was strategic. So now fans are wondering, was the lawsuit a preemptive strike? Was Drake trying to shut Kendrick down before this secret collab could drop? And where does that leave Rocky? Well, according to a producer close to both artists, Rocky knew what exposing Drake could cost him. He's not stupid, the producer said. He knew once that audio got out, doors would close. Deals would dry up. But he did it anyway. He said, "I'm not letting that fake king ruin the culture I built with these cans." And it's true, Rocky's no stranger to standing alone in the industry. From his early mixtape days to launching the $1 AP mob, he's always moved on his own terms. But this was different. This was war. As the story kept unraveling, more people started picking sides. Travis Scott unfollowed Drake on Instagram. Tyler, the creator, liked a shady tweet that said, "Real ones don't weaponize lawsuits." And just yesterday, Shaw posted a cryptic tweet that read, "Loyalty always costs something." Fans think that was a shot at Drake too, considering how close he and Shaw reportedly were in the past. But the biggest shocker? Rocky's mom stepped into the conversation. She posted a long emotional comment under a fan page defending her son, saying, "They tried to paint my baby as a pawn, but he's the whole game board. Don't sleep." The comment went viral instantly. Fans were in her replies saying, "Mama Rocky, don't play, and you raised a real one." And now, as Rocky continues to stay mostly silent publicly, no interviews, no live streams, no tweets, his silence is speaking louder than any diss track ever could. Meanwhile, Drake has reportedly canceled 2 scheduled appearances. And insiders say he's reevaluating the lawsuit completely. But here's the thing. Right when the dust was starting to settle, something else leaked. Something even wilder. A screenshot of a private DM from Kendrick to Rocky. Just 3 words. "You did that. And with that message, UT, trust me, it's only getting started," because what came next blew everything out the water. Within hours of that "you did that" DM from Kendrick to Rocky leaking, hip-hop fans across social media went into full detective mode. Timelines were being pieced together, old interviews resurfaced, and fans started catching things nobody noticed before. Like how Rocky had been subtly signaling this alliance with Kendrick for months. One clip from an old Complex interview suddenly went viral again, where Rocky was asked if he'd ever collab with Kendrick, and his response, "The world ain't ready for that smoke yet." Back then, folks thought he was just dodging the question. Now it feels like he was dropping hints in plain sight. But while fans were connecting dots, things behind the scenes were spiraling. Drake's camp was in full damage control mode. Multiple blogs reported that OVO lawyers were scrambling to do reputation containment. There were rumors of cease and desist, letters being sent to any outlet reposting the leaked audio. But it was too late. Once it hit the internet, it spread like wildfire. Then, out of nowhere, a voice memo surfaced on a shady forum, allegedly from someone inside Kendrick's team. In the memo, the voice says, "Rocky didn't just leak the call. He leaked everything. He's done watching the puppets dance. And that's when fans realized this wasn't just Rocky versus Drake. This was Rocky versus the entire machine. But what made things even crazier? The shift in how the public started viewing Rocky. Up until now, Rocky was always seen as the cool, fashion-forward guy. The one who played both sides, stayed out of drama, and kept it stylish. But now, fans were calling him the silent assassin, the one who moved in silence and struck when no one expected it. Memes flooded Twitter and TikTok, Rocky in a trench coat with the caption Agent $1 AP or Rocky photoshopped into the middle of Kendrick's diss track visuals, with the words undercover hero. But not everyone was celebrating. Drake's diehard fans were furious. One popular OVO stan account tweeted, "Rocky just ended his own career trying to be a hero in a movie no one asked." 4. Another post claimed Rocky was clout chasing, trying to ride the Kendrick wave because his own music wasn't charting the same. And that's when things took a darker turn. A close friend of Drake, someone often seen courtside with him, posted a story on Instagram that said, "Funny how the ones with the most to lose always talk the loudest. Loyalty comes with a price, bro." It didn't name Rocky, but fans instantly made the connection. It felt like a warning, a threat even. But Rocky wasn't scared. Just days later, paparazzi caught him walking into a nickrecordingstudio.com, hoodie up, not saying a word. But fans noticed something that sent shockwaves. He was wearing a vintage PG Lang hat, the same exact one Kendrick wore during his last tour. Coincidence? Nobody believed that. Meanwhile, Kendrick's energy shifted too. Before, he had stayed mostly quiet since the Drake beef reignited. No interviews, no appearances. But now, he was everywhere. One video surfaced of Kendrick laughing backstage at a private listening party in La, telling someone, "Sometimes you just let folks talk. Then you drop the truth." The vibe was cocky, confident, and fans ate it. But here's the twist nobody expected. Behind the scenes, industry folks started whispering that this whole situation was deeper than just Drake and Kendrick. It had ties to the major streaming platforms. A known industry exec who requested anonymity claimed that Rocky's exposure had interrupted a rollout plan worth tens of millions. This wasn't just about two rappers throwing shade, the source said. There were contracts, endorsements, brand partnerships, and Rocky just smashed through it like a wrecking ball. And that's when Rocky's own inner circle started feeling the heat. Two of his longtime business partners reportedly backed out of a fashion collab, citing too much controversy. One of his upcoming brand campaigns mysteriously disappeared from social media, and fans noticed that a popular Spotify playlist that usually featured Rocky's songs had quietly removed him. But Rocky didn't flinch. He dropped a surprise snippet on his burner account. Just a short clip of him in the studio, saying, "You can't cancel what's real. Only fake falls apart." The clip had no beat, just his voice, raw, defiant. And fans went wild. Then came another twist. And this one was personal. Someone dug up an old interview with Rocky from back in 2016. In it, talked about loyalty and how he hated snakes in the industry. "I seen dudes act like friends in the daylight, but plot like enemies after midnight," he said. "One day, I'm gonna expose all that. Back then, it seemed like random industry talk. Now it feels like prophecy." And then, boom! Another leak. This time, a video. Grainy footage looked like security cam quality. It showed Rocky at a private dinner 2 months ago, same night he was spotted at that fancy Toronto club. And sitting across from him, a man who fans believe is the same legal consultant from the leaked audio. They're leaning in close, talking intensely. Rocky's expression is dead serious. Nobody knows who leaked it. But one thing's for sure, it proved that Rocky knew way more than he ever let on. Drake, on the other hand, remained silent. Completely. Not a tweet. Not a caption. Not a soundbite. And that silence, it was deafening. Even his closest collaborators started pulling away. One major R&B artist who had a #1 hit with Drake just last year posted a cryptic message. You can't build empires on lies and think they won't crumble. Fans think it was a direct shot, and right as the tension hit a boiling point, Kendrick made his move. He posted a photo, black and white, no caption. Just him and Rocky sitting in a dark room, back to back. Serious expressions. No jewelry. No gimmicks. Just two artists, two men, united. And that image. It broke the internet. Fans called it the calm before the storm. Blogs dubbed them the resistance. Even industry insiders admitted whatever Kendrick and Rocky were planning next was going to shake the game. But behind all the applause and memes, there was still danger brewing. Because while Rocky and Kendrick seemed to be rising, Drake wasn't out of the picture yet. Word is, he was working on something too. Something silent. Something big. And when it finally hit, it would either save him more, burn the entire industry down. And when it finally hit, it would either save him more, burn the entire industry down. Because while the internet was busy turning Rocky into a folk hero and Kendrick into a prophet, Drake had gone completely ghost. No stories, no music, no sightings. But behind that silence, he was planning something so calculated, so out of left field, it would leave everybody in the game frozen. Sources close to OVO finally broke their silence and started whispering about what Drake was really doing. Not prepping a diss, not prepping a comeback, but prepping a counterleak. Yeah, you heard that right. Word is Drake had dirt on Rocky, on Kendrick, and even on some of the industry folks who'd started turning their backs on him. And then it happened in the middle of a quiet Tuesday afternoon. An anonymous account dropped a private voicemail allegedly from Rocky. The voice on the line was stressed, tired, and you could hear tension in every breath. "I ain't trying to choose sides, bro," the voice said. "I got a kid now. I got a family. I don't need none of this pressure. Kendrick, Wilden, and Drake. He ain't who y'all think he is." It ended with static. That voicemail lit a fire under everything. Fans were divided. Some were calling Rocky fake, saying he played both sides. Others were convinced the audio was doctored. "That ain't even Rocky's voice," one user said. "That's AI trying to rewrite the narrative," but the damage was already done. Suddenly, the same people who praised Rocky as a hero started questioning his loyalty, his intentions, his moves. But Rocky wasn't going to let the narrative spin without a fight. Within 12 hours, Rocky went live on Instagram. Not planned, not polished. Just him in his living room, hoodie on, Rihanna in the background feeding their baby. Rocky looked straight into the camera and said, "I ain't hiding. I ain't folding. Y'all think that voicemail means something? That's old. That's before I knew what was really going on. When I figured out the truth, I stood on it. I still am." The comment section exploded. Fans were sending heart emojis, praying hands. And some were just writing "Stand tall, King." Others weren't so forgiving. "You playing both sides and hiding behind the baby," one comment said. But Rocky didn't even flinch. He ended the live with one sentence that broke the internet again. "When all this is over, y'all gone? See who really wore the crown the whole time?" Meanwhile, Kendrick was moving in silence too. But his silence wasn't retreat. It was strategy, on a private Telegram channel believed to be run by a PG Lang affiliate. A cryptic message dropped. Blurry clips of boardrooms. Quick flashes of rap moguls shaking hands behind closed doors. Studio sessions with blurred-out artists nodding to silent beats. And over it all, Rocky's voice saying, "Some of these kings weren't crowned by the people. They were placed on thrones by the machine." Boom. Internet meltdown. The trailer racked up 2 million views in 4 hours. Drake's name wasn't mentioned once, but everybody knew who it was about. But the fallout came fast. OVO reps reportedly sent a legal takedown notice to YouTube, but PG Lang had already mirrored it to over a dozen platforms. Fans were downloading it, reposting it, dissecting every frame. Even the opening line of Rocky's narration, "Power don't corrupt people," It reveals who they've been the whole time became a trending tattoo request, but that's not even the wildest. Part because while all this was happening publicly, something very private was going down behind the scenes. Between Kendrick and Drake, a close mutual friend, someone who's worked with both artists, spilled the tea anonymously. Kendrick and Drake had a private phone call. Just the two of them. No managers. No lawyers. No labels. It lasted 11 minutes, and let's just say there was no resolution. Just tension. Apparently, Drake asked Kendrick to walk back the lawsuit stuff. Not the diss tracks. Not the disses. Just the legal drama. He reportedly said, "You do music, I do music. We don't gotta drag courts into this." Kendrick's response, "You started this when you played with real names and fake tears." Boom. Call ended. And from that moment, any hope of a peaceful ending. Gone. Drake came out swinging again, but not with music. Not with tweets. With business. His label suddenly announced a massive new streaming deal with a major. Platform One that surprisingly excluded Kendrick's entire catalog. Fans were outraged. Artists started speaking out. Even J. Cole, who'd stayed silent through most of the drama, posted a tweet that read, "When power don't play fair, the people gotta speak louder." But the people weren't just speaking, they were organizing. A fan-led movement called #ProtectTheCulture started trending worldwide. People were demanding transparency in the music industry, demanding realness, demanding authenticity. And Rocky, he became the face of it all. Then came the betrayal nobody saw coming. A member of the Adala AP Mub someone Rocky came up with posted a long message on Twitter. It read, "Rocky ain't always been this righteous. Don't let the edited trailers fool you. He's smart, but he's not innocent." The post included old texts, ALLEGED backstage audio clips, and even a short video of Rocky joking about keeping both sides happy. It was a gut punch. Rocky didn't respond directly, but the tension was visible. Fans were stunned. Some turned on him completely. Others doubled down on their support. "He's human," one user wrote. "Y'all want heroes, but can't handle the realness when they're flawed," Kendrick, for his part, posted a single image, a chessboard with one piece tipped over. No caption. No words. Just that dot, and fans knew exactly what he was saying. The game had changed. Drake was losing public trust. Rocky was caught between being a revolutionary and a liability. And Kendrick, he was controlling the board without even moving. But just when it felt like things were about to explode, one final twist sent everything spiraling into chaos. A private video surfaced. Grainy Loris, clearly recorded without permission. It showed Rocky, Kendrick, and an unknown third man in a dimly lit room. Voices were low, but one line was clear as day. Rocky said once this next piece drops, he can't recover. Not musically, not publicly, not even legally. And with that, the clip ended. Fans were floored. Who was the third man? What was the next piece? And more importantly, was this all way deeper than anyone thought? Was this all way deeper than anyone thought? After that private video leaked of Rocky, Kendrick, and an unknown third man plotting something major, the internet absolutely lost it. Forums lit up. Reddit threads hit thousands of comments in minutes. People started zooming in, enhancing the video, trying to identify the mystery man. Then someone dropped a bombshell, the third guy in the clip, allegedly a high-ranking executive at a major music distribution platform. Someone with access. Someone who could make certain files vanish or reappear. That's when everything clicked. Fans pieced together that Rocky and Kendrick weren't just fighting a rap beef anymore. They were pulling the curtain back on the entire system. The fake awards, the playlist manipulation, the ghostwriting cover-ups, the shady contracts. And that next piece Rocky mentioned in the video, it wasn't a diss track. It wasn't an interview. It was a full-on expose. The internet started calling it the nuke. And then just 3 nights after the video leaked, the nuke dropped. Without warning. A 14-minute visual premiered on PG Lang's official channel. No promo, no announcement, just the title. The throne was never real. It was narrated by Rocky again, but this time, his voice was colder, sharper, angry dot in it. He exposed everything: audio clips of private label meetings, unreleased versions of Billboard emails, discussing how certain artists were prioritized, even footage showing how some Grammy nominations were negotiated behind closed doors. And while no artist was directly named, there were plenty of blurred faces, familiar laughs, and sound bites that left no doubt. But the craziest moment? A segment titled "When the Owl Turned, Rocky Played a Secret." Voicemail never heard before, allegedly from Drake himself. In it, a voice that sounded eerily like Drake said, "Sometimes you gotta let a fake beef run if it sells tickets. Keep the cameras rolling." That line. It sent shockwaves through the culture. Was Drake admitting that some of the rap beef was manufactured? That it was all a game, a marketing tool? Social media exploded. Fans felt betrayed. Artists started distancing themselves. One indie rapper tweeted, "We out here risking our lives for authenticity while these dudes play wrestling for streaming." Numbers. Even longtime Drake collaborators went silent. No likes, no reposts, nothing. But then, Drake responded, not with a song, not with a post, but with lawyers. An official cease and desist letter was sent to PG Lang, threatening a defamation lawsuit over the documentary. Rocky and Kendrick's team responded within hours, daring Drake to take it to court, saying, "We got more. Let's play the whole game." But Drake didn't follow through. Instead, something wild happened. OVO insiders confirmed that Drake had a crisis meeting with his team. Brand partnerships, label heads, legal advisors. The word was retreat. And that's when Kendrick made the final move. He went live. Not on Instagram, not on YouTube, but on PG Lang's private stream, a platform they'd quietly built for years, away from the usual algorithms. Just him sitting alone. No chain, no hype. Just truth. He said 5 words. They tried to erase us. Then he leaned forward, eyes locked on the camera, and said, "But we documented everything." And just like that, the stream ended. Fans went into meltdown mode. Comments poured in. People were demanding Drake speak, demanding answers. The culture was shaking. Even big-name artists who stayed silent this whole time, like Megan, Cole, Tyler, Vince Staples, began posting cryptic messages. The veil had been lifted. The game wasn't what they thought it was. But here's the emotional part that nobody saw coming. Rocky's mom, the same one who clapped back at haters, earlier posted a tearful video of her son as a kid, sitting in front of a boombox, rapping along to a Kendrick song from back in the blog era. She said, "My son always knew who was real. He just waited for the world to catch up." The comment section was pure emotion. "We owe Rocky an apology," one user wrote. "He put it all on the line for truth." And he really did. Put it all on the line for truth. And he really did. Rocky lost major endorsements. A shoe collab got shelved. He reportedly had a brand deal worth $2.5 million canceled after the documentary dropped. But he didn't backtrack. Didn't T-fold. Instead, he went into the studio. And insiders say what he's cooking up now. It's not just music kits war paint. But let's not act like it's over, because the industry is now in panic mode. Award shows are scrambling to rebrand. Major labels are issuing internal memos about rebuilding public trust. Even Spotify had to address backlash after users noticed suspicious changes in playlist placements following the expos. And Drake? Well, sources say he flew out of Toronto to an undisclosed location. Some say he's regrouping. Some say he's stepping back. Others say he's prepping the biggest comeback ever. But the truth? The throne is empty right now because the power that used to crown kings just got dragged into the light. And nobody's quite sure what to believe anymore. Rocky changed everything. Kendrick revealed everything. And Drake? Drake has 2 choices now. Own it. or disappear behind the machine he helped build. Because no matter how many hits you drop, the culture doesn't forget who stood up when it mattered most. So now that the dust is settling, one question hangs in the air louder than any bar ever spit. What happens next? Will Drake fight back with a new project? Or is this the first time we're watching the Six God bleed publicly with no recovery in sight? Does he drop a surprise album that reclaims the throne, or does he fall back completely and let the silence speak louder than any lyric? And what about Rocky? The same man y'all once called the flyest in the game is now being called the bravest. He risked endorsements, friendships, and even his own fan base to stand on something real. And for what? Loyalty, principle, revenge, maybe all three? And Kendrick. He didn't just win the beef. He broke the system. The quiet genius, the puppet master behind the scenes. Turns out, he wasn't playing chess. He built the board. But here's the real twist. This story ain't over. Nah, we just got to the interlude. Because now every artist, every label, every fan is asking who's real and who's manufactured. Who's fighting for the culture and who's just using it. And that's where you come in. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Was Rocky a hero or a traitor? Did Drake go too far with the lawsuit move? Or was he just protecting his legacy? And do you think Kendrick and Rocky got one last card to play? Make sure you like this video if you think the truth always wins. Hit that subscribe button. Because you already know we got the receipts, the drama, and the tea you won't find anywhere else. This ain't just music news. This is culture, warfare, and we reporting live from the front lines. Stay tuned. Stay tuned.